Hey everybody, Karen from Ask the Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing well today. Why do I have my earbuds in? There we go. Now I can hear myself. What? So this is going to be really interesting. We are going to look at Trump's higher self messages that he gave us back in May and ask the spirit guides using the dowsing rods today about what he said to us then and where is he now and what's happening with the astrology and natal charts and all that. But we've got 30 questions of what we're going to do to check in on this sort of where he's been according to spirit, okay, and where he is now. So it's kind of fun now that we've got so much back data according to what the spirit guides have told us that we can do some kind of like, where were we then and where are we now and what difference is it making? All right. So let's go ahead. Obviously I put together this report. I call it the SG script. That I work on with Mabel. Marcia and I both do. And so we have a really good, basically, so we have a little introduction, what's currently happening as just kind of, we all know what's kind of currently happening, but just as a little breakdown so you can kind of get your head into the game here. Why this is happening, okay, because that's really important to me, that while we are looking at current events, I am not as interested in the current event itself, but I'm more interested into why it's happening. And that's, I think, more helpful for me from a spiritual perspective and just like to hang on, hang on. So we don't fall off a cliff, basically. So it's really just perspective and just a reminder that Diana Cooper has taught the community through reading one of her books that, oh no, it wasn't Diana Cooper. It was Let Your Spirit Guide Speak. The book, You Let Your Spirit Guide Speak. I don't have the author's name off the top of my head, but new perspectives equals miracles. So one of my goals here is to always give us new perspectives. So when you walk away, hopefully you have some new perspectives. All right. So why it's happening. Let's see. Some astrology context with regards to the messaging that we've gotten from him and the Ask the Spirit Guides. Okay. Questions. All right, so let's take a look. So back in May 2025, so this was just, this May, our community connected with Donald Trump, so F45's higher self. If you're wondering why I say F45, Felon 45, it's appropriate name. I'm going to keep calling him F45 because it's really factual. It's factual. He is a felon. That is factual. Regardless if anybody wants to argue that, it is a fact. And I don't believe he actually won this election based on facts. So I'm going to continue to call him 45. All right, F45. So, okay, back in May 2025, our community connected with F45's higher self using the pendulum and oracle cards. All right, so we did some pendulum messaging with his higher self and his lower self, actually. At the end of this video, I will pop them. If you want to check it out, I'll pop that here and up here. So higher self, lower self, okay? The first message that his higher self gave us back then was, I'm sorry. And that was quite unexpected, actually. When we asked what was he sorry for, the answer was still living. So his higher self said, I'm sorry that he's still living. Isn't that nuts? His higher self said his soul contract was meant to disrupt broken systems. So he's not doing this out of kindness. It's just really the only way probably it could be done. So we're not giving him credit for being the, scumbag that he is, for lack of a better term. But we're understanding this from a deeper level. All right. So his soul contract was meant to disrupt broken systems. So the systems were already broken. He's just bringing it to all of our attention in a very good way. Meaning it's he's doing a very good job bringing it to our attention. So we'll give him credit for that. But that went, okay, so his higher self said his soul contract was meant to disrupt broken systems, but that he went too far and went rogue. All right, so interesting topic or conversation we had with his higher self. Even so, the higher self didn't regret the experience. It saw it as part of learning. Now, as of October 2025, the U.S. is facing a government shutdown. Well, we already have one. Talk of troops possibly being used at home and tense peace talks in the Middle East. So checking in again, has the energy changed and what lessons are showing up for all of us now? Okay, just remember this is all allegedly and entertainment purposes only. So what's currently happening? Again, this isn't going to be a surprise to any of you, but just a little recap. The U.S. government is currently shut down, putting pressure on workers and families. There's talk about using the Insurrection Act if unrest grows, because, everybody's... I even went on Amazon yesterday to see if I could get because you guys know I bought those those teddy bear pajama tops, which I probably will stick to or pajama full body suits. Mine was a little small, but that's okay. My husband's was a little small too, but they both fit us. I'm going to stick to those because it's going to get cold, and I think those will be nice and cozy to wear. But those blow up, the inflatable costumes I've always thought they were so hilarious when I first started seeing the dinosaurs. Oh my gosh. But can you imagine everybody at the No Kings wearing those? Oh my gosh. Thank you, Portland. There is no way that they can be like, you're violent. Oh, really? Really? But here's my sign. I don't know. I think it's the best. Isn't this the best? Oh my gosh. It's going to be so fun to see what that looks like. So, anyways. Okay. So the Israel-Hamas ceasefire is shaky, but still being discussed. Trump continues to make headlines, often linking politics and spiritual battles. Again, division of church and state. Whatever happened to that? Critical thinking, MAGA, critical thinking. Whatever happened to separation of church and state? It's part of our Constitution. He gave Charlie Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's top civilian award, a move many say added to division instead of unity. Okay. All right. So why is this happening? Let's just take a little higher view and see why this is happening based on the astrology, based on natal charts. That's all in my report. Okay. Natal charts for the U.S., natal charts for some of the leaders, natal charts for the world, that kind of stuff. Okay. From a higher view, this is about truth and humility. Trump's higher self once said his mission was to wake people up, but human ego turned that into chaos. Humanity's job now is learning the difference between breaking old systems and destroying what still works. So that's really important. That's an interesting perspective. Astrology right now shows this same story. Pluto in Aquarius brings big changes in power and truth. Big changes in power and truth. Saturn and Neptune in Pisces reveal where illusions are falling apart. Together, they ask us to wake up, not fight harder. Our own Ask the Spirit Guides chart, we have a natal chart for our community. In fact, we are coming up on our 1-year anniversary. I think I have to totally double check this, but I think it's October 24th, which is next Friday, which unfortunately I'll be traveling on. So I don't know that I'll be able to do a proper birthday party I'm going to probably have something. We'll have to do a proper birthday party the following week. Okay, so yeah, so we have our own natal chart. I have the exact time, the exact place, and the exact date that I recorded the first video for this community. So we have our own natal chart. So our own Ask the Spirit Guides chart shows energy around leadership and communication. Okay, so that's for all of us, leadership and communication. It's our time to help others stay calm and clear while truth comes to the surface. That's what our natal chart as a group is communicating. And because there are so many of us, probably more than half, that are on the second half of our journey here on Earth, that brings so much wisdom. You guys know how much wisdom we have in this community? Not that folks who are not in their second half are wise, because that's not true. They're wise in totally different ways that we need that perspective too, because those are new generational ways of seeing the world that we don't see unless we're hanging out with them, you know? So anyway, all of us very valuable in what we're bringing to the table. Okay. So Oracle messages from May 2025, which is kind of interesting. Mabel just pulled this in for me. It is time to celebrate, linked to predictions that he may soon leave public life. Now that was in May. Now remember, humans, especially now with the age of technology, we want things immediate. Spirit world doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Divine timing is divine timing, but just because they say it's time to celebrate, they might be like, hey, we were talking like this entire year, it is time to celebrate because these systems are all breaking down and he'll be gone. But did people expect him to be gone in May? I probably did then, but I'm getting wiser to this process now that we've been through it. And that's the whole point, right? They said, you know the way, trust your intuition, which means follow your own knowing. And I think that's so important right now. I am on a healthy rampage not meaning angry, but a clear rampage right now. And you guys are going to see that in all the sessions coming up of digging into the truth about so many things because I am just like awake. Boom, I am awake, and we're going to be there. I'm going to do one on cholesterol, especially for people in their older ages right here. You guys, and my little story that I have with my doctors and my cholesterol and what I'm learning and the drug companies and blah, 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 blah. We're going to do an SG session soon on that because I'm done. I'm done with supporting these structures that are not helping us and the drugs they keep giving us and the food they keep giving us to keep us on the drugs. Anyways, that's how I digress. But we're looking at the truth on everything here, okay? But we're going to keep looking at it from a higher spiritual perspective, which is why we're going to use the dowsing rods, okay? So the other oracle message from May was let love guide you. So these obviously are not old messages. These are current messages. These are good ones for us to even hang on today. Choose kindness even when the world looks messy. These still apply today, Mabel said. They remind us that awakening doesn't come from obsession, which, I got to be a little obsessed because now I'm like, every time I see an article about something that I'm like, yeah, right. I'm like plugging that into my SG scripts and having Mabel go out and get me all the facts. And it's fun. It's actually fun because now I'm like, oh, I can find out the truth about this. And entertainment purposes only and allegedly, is it completely the truth? No, you're going to use your own critical thinking, of course, but we're at least exploring that there's some other angles to these things that maybe we hadn't. It's just a new perspective equals miracles, right? Okay, so we're getting so many miracles every single day. If you don't think miracles aren't occurring in your life right now, I don't think you're correct. Miracles are happening to us every single day, which is why it is quite exciting. I know some of us are still really struggling. I come and go out of it from anger and sadness and shock still. I get it. But the more we come out of that, we go through the grieving process, we get to the acceptance stage. Not acceptance of what they're doing, but acceptance to our role in this. And I think that's where the sovereignty is going to come from. That's where we're stepping into our own power. I can't tell you how much more powerful I feel, spiritually powerful, than I did 10 months ago. And can I thank Trump for that? Yes, I can. Thank you. Thank you, white supremacists. Thank you, F-45 regime. And I doubt that that we're the only community doing that. I did a video recently, I'll pop it right here, said they don't know what's coming. They don't know what they've unleashed. And this is what I'm talking about. Every single day now since I did that video, I'm getting stronger and stronger and stronger in my conviction, my knowing, my clearness. I cannot tell you. I literally woke up this morning and I was like, thank you for letting me be clear right now. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to last, the astrology and all that, but I have been living, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but so undecisive and I don't know which way to go and I don't get what's going on and all this with everything, food and health and politics and society and this and that and whatever. And finally, for a week, I just like some clarity. And I don't know if that's like a feeling thing. Like I'm a pretty big feeler in the Myers-Briggs. And so that makes it, oh, I've got my thinking brain on, but also coming from my heart. So I don't know. Tell me if you can relate to that. Okay, simple astrology context. Trump's energy shows inner stress. So this is current, okay, and his astrology, his natal chart. Ego meeting consequences. Wah, wah, slap. I've got that mug. Ego meeting consequences. The U.S. energy shows emotional tension rising to heal division. Love it. It's so much that is so aligned with how I feel, what I'm seeing online, the purple revolution, other ways people are healing division. It doesn't have to be the purple revolution, whatever. Okay. It doesn't really matter. We don't even need a name for it. We just need to heal division. We don't need another cult. We don't need to be the cult of the purple revolution. It's just a way to bring people together. Okay. I'm really starting to dislike names, because of that. We have to be really careful to remind ourselves we're not developing another cult. For everyone, astrology context, we're learning to stop worshiping leaders and movements. No worshiping movements. Don't worship it. And start trusting your own heart. The skies this month suggest more sudden changes, bold moves, and truth coming to light. It's not meant to scare us. It's meant to free us. Again, oh my gosh, I hope this lasts forever the way I feel right now. I'm just so clear. And I'm clear about my own BS too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not clear about just everybody else's BS. I'm clear about my own BS. Like I'm seeing it right now and I'm like, yeah, okay, you need to stop doing that. You need to stop doing that, All right, so let's ask the spirit guides what's going on with this topic. Okay, so I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides, guardians, the lead team collective. I'm going to move you back. And only those of the highest and purest light. And ask Archangel Michael to please protect my channel, your channel, our community, the lead team collective, so it is only of the highest and purest light. Amen. Okay. Are you far enough back? I just want you to be able to see the the bottom of the rods. So, all right. So, hello, spirit team. I've already talked to my team today, but lead team, thank you so much for all your guidance and support of our community. Oh my gosh, so appreciative. So, if you can send them, if you're in the chat right now and you can send out some hearts to show your appreciation, that would be amazing. So, lead team, I've got 30 questions in front of me regarding this topic we're talking about in terms of where we've been, the messaging, your pendulum messages, Trump's natal chart, our natal chart. And we're just curious about some things about where we're at compared to where we were in May 2025. Do you have any concerns about these questions? No. Okay. Do me a favor, lead team. Please clear me from any, how do I say this? Clear me from having any influence over your responses. So if there's any bias that I'm bringing to these questions, clearly I have biases and opinions about things. Clearly. But please clear that so that my bias is not showing up in your responses, okay? Yes, is that possible to do? Yes, okay. Is it important that I'm asking for that? Yes. Okay, you guys. So just when you're working, I've heard people in the comments bring up the bias thing for the last 10 months. I never really understood how to deal with that. So, or whether it was true or not, you know? So now we know. You can ask when you're working with your spirit teams, if you're wanting to know things that are not just your perspective, but you want a new perspective, then ask them to clear that bias. Okay? Why not? I don't know if it's 100% doing but let's just do it. I think that is kind of like another good, healthy step. It's like, it's spiritual health, right? It's spiritual self-care. If you want to, unless you do want to just have the answers from your own bias. I mean, for the community, obviously I don't. Okay, I'm going to try to clear that. So the last person who brought this up, I do appreciate you bringing that, and I happened to see that comment. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the suggestion. Okay, so let's see. Question number 1. Is the political chaos helping speed up humanity's spiritual growth? I know some of this might seem, well, let's just give me some time to do some intro questions with them, okay? So, you might at this point go, well, yeah, of course it is. Okay, yes, but they're confirming, so that's good. Is the planet's energy rising faster now than early 2025? That's a good question. Yes, my sister put together some amazing questions here. Yes. Okay. Is F45's higher self still saying sorry for still living this experience or still being alive right now? Yes. Oh, poor Donald. Poor Don. Okay. Well, I'm kind of curious because people have been talking about, so does F45 really believe he's going to hell? He does. Okay, well that should be enough torture for him. I don't believe, is F45 going to quote unquote hell? No. See, I don't believe in hell, so but so that might be a bias, but whatever. I don't believe in hell. So everything we've read and everything, the people that I feel connected to spiritually, the star seeds, the light workers, I don't think any of us believe that there's like this. I think it's, it's more nuanced than like you're going to sit in hell, like the traditional, what Catholics teach, of sitting in hell, you know what I mean? So, but Trump, I'm not too disappointed. Should we be disappointed that Trump thinks he's going to hell? No, I'm not too disappointed by that, unless, is that causing part of his kind of mania? Yes. Okay. But he's not, is he actually doing something good? Is he actually think he's doing something good? Yes. Oh my God. All right. That's just narcissism for you. Is it because of his narcissism? Yes. All right. Has his original soul job as disruptor ended yet? Oh, yes. Okay. So his job as disruptor has ended. Okay. And again, that to us might be like, well, if it's ended, then get the hell out. And this is where I always say, be careful what you wish for, because we might wish for that. And then let's let divine timing work that out so that it works in our favor, the people's. Okay. So, because you just never know. If it goes too soon, we need to let that play out. That's why it's playing out in the timing that it is. Is that correct? Hi, LTC. Yes, really wide swing on that. Is his higher self pulling back from global influence now? No. But we asked, is his higher self? Is his higher self pulling back? No. Okay. Is the current chaos part of Earth's cleansing and reset? Yes. Wide swing on that, you guys. Really wide energy on that. So keep that in mind. So many things going on that we don't understand, which is why self-care and getting on with your life, even though pay attention from the fringe, but just don't let it take over your life like, we've been doing the last 10 months. Kind of hard not to. You'd probably say speak for yourself, right? Our unseen energies guiding more of this than human plans? Yes. Okay. Does his higher self want to help heal what was harmed? Yes, his higher self does. Does he, as F45 and human, want to help heal what he has harmed? No. Is the White House really considering the Insurrection Act? Yes, allegedly entertainment purposes only. Is the government shutdown, being used to remove certain programs quietly? Yes. Is the media using the shutdown to turn people against each other? Yes. Even just I haven't looked, but I heard that even their websites all say it's the Democrats' fault. Again, MAGA, critical thinking. How is it their fault? How? Critical thinking. Okay, a little judgmental, but come on, critical thinking. We all got to get our critical thinking going here. Will this shutdown cause more harm than good? Yes. Is it really about giving the government more control? Yes. Will the new tariffs on China help the U.S. long term? No. In fact, I do have a tariff one that I'm going to be doing soon. SG, something like this. Let's see. Are these fights a distraction from bigger money problems? Yes. Will the new peace deal in the Middle East actually hold? Okay, so they're saying yes and no. I don't know enough about it to tease that out. We'd have to do a whole separate session on that. If you guys are interested in an SG session, I think it's kind of a sensitive topic. So I stayed away from Epstein for a while until it just felt like the right time to start talking about it. So then we started talking about it. I haven't talked about Gaza and this whole thing because it just seems a little too sensitive. So, I'm just being a little careful. But if you guys are interested in that topic, let me know. Was F45 upset? Okay, this is a no-brainer. He didn't win the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize. Actually, you guys, I want to write this down. Yes, I want to write down because I want to do a session on this. I just have a sneaky suspicion about something. Hang on a sec. Yeah, I have a sneaky suspicion. I'm sure it's just because I'm a conspiracy theorist now, but I'm a spiritual sleuth. Okay, so the Nobel Peace Prize went to a Venezuelan. Okay. And guess what boats they. Pew. Don't you think that's a little suspicious? A little suspicious. I don't know. I feel like there's a connection there. So I'm gonna, and the Nobel Peace Prize went to, if I remember this correctly, I had to do the report on it. If I remember this correctly, this woman, I think she's in a leadership position. It went to her because of her approach to democracy. So, psst, a little burn on him. So, and then just during this process, they're blowing up boats from Venezuela? What? Okay, you see what I mean? Am I the only one who has like a suspicion about this? I do want to run a report on that and do an SG session with that. Okay, was the Nobel Committee's choice meant as a wake-up call for Trump? No. Did it just because it just legitimately went to someone who deserves it? Yes. Does his higher self still believe he deserves the next one, his higher self? No. Does his higher self believe he deserves this one? No. Are global conflicts happening to help humanity grow? Yes. Please just keep that in mind. Every time you're like, yeah, just remember, this is helping us grow. You could just say that very sarcastically. This is helping me grow. Is student loan pressure meant to block education access? Yes. So annoying. Will the public see through the money games soon? Yes. Good. I have several I'm doing on the money stuff too. Is this leadership cycle reaching its natural end? Yes. Now remember, the rise of divine masculine, or however they say, I don't know if it's the rise of, but was in place for 250,000 years. Okay. So they might say, yeah, it's coming to an end. So this is why I don't do dates, because it's unless you're clairvoyant and have your clairs and you can understand the date stuff. No, if you can understand timelines, if you can understand the pace of which the spirit realm moves versus the pace of which we move, if you can make all of that make sense, then I think you can talk timing. But if you don't, and I'm not there yet, I will someday, maybe. I mean, that's kind of an interesting study for yourself to maybe even use your own AI to look at timelines, the fact that the other realm moves at the speed of light or even faster, how we don't, and how does that all affect timing of things when spirit says, yeah, it's coming to a natural end. Astrology, you could put that in. I think that would be an interesting report. I got to write that down. Okay. Will the current path increase? Okay, so will the current path that we're on increase citizen surveillance? Yes. So just, we'll be working on that. I did do a session on digital ID, so that will be coming out soon. Okay. Will the U.S. economy start truly healing within the next year? No. Will it be healing within the next 10 years? Yes. How about in the next 5 years? Okay, so we need at least 10 years. And that's the economy. That doesn't mean, okay, so we did say U.S. economy. Is part of the healing going to be to get us to rebalance debt around the world by chance? Yes. Okay. Is too much political focus, that's a good question. Is too much political focus lowering people's energy? Yes. Okay, so important for us to find the balance, obviously. Yes. because here's the thing, like if I didn't focus that much on it over the last 10 months, I wouldn't be where I am today in terms of my clarity, right? But it's really challenging if you're not seeking clarity to just watch and then you're sitting in anxiety, anger. Okay. So that's really, really important, which is the whole point of our community is really seeking clarity on things because we can see things from a bigger perspective, right? Whether you call that spirituality or not, it's just miracles, new miracles every day happening with new perspective. Will tuning out drama help raise our vibration faster? Yes, just confirmation. I think we all know that. Did giving Charlie Kirk the medal come from ego more than love? Yes. Was Charlie Kirk, when you look at others who have received that medal, was Charlie Kirk deserving? Do you think Charlie Kirk was deserving of that medal? Yes. Okay. So the role he played. Yes. Fair enough. Was the medal meant to cause more division than unity? Yes. So, okay. So now I'm wondering what it was meant to cause more division, but did it? Did it cause more division than unity? No. Okay. Is that why you're saying Charlie did deserve the medal? Yes. Ah, what a good place to end. Okay. Okay. That was interesting. So some key takeaways. His higher self, Trump's F-45s, admits the disruptor mission went off track, but the learning continues. I just love that. It went off track. Yeah, a little bit. You think? You think? F-45's higher self? The current astrology shows truth rising and egos being humbled, including myself, my own. The real test is to stay aware without falling into anger or fear. Again, allow yourself the grace of going through the grieving process. And again, the grieving process is going to be continual depending on what's going to be happening. So just allow yourself that. You know, I've been going through it. You know, I'm at acceptance right now, but I keep telling you, like next week, I might be right back in there. Okay. Forgiveness and focus are higher vibe activism. Forgiveness. Who do you have to forgive when it comes to the stuff? Right? Those who voted for him for sure. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean allowing them. It just means, you know what? I'm going to forgive you so that you can. For me, if we open the door of forgiveness for people, then it allows them to change. If we just close the door and act like a-holes about it, then that's not going to bring about change because people are going to sit in there. They'll just replace F-45 with somebody else, you guys. I don't know if it'll be as strong, but so we don't want that. We don't want that. So love, not outrage, is what actually shifts the world. Okay, we know that. It's a good reminder. And that's it. All right, hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. I'm back. I don't know if anybody's going to see this, but I just went to download this video, and it was recording, the label was recording number 333. I just had to tell you that. All right, have a good one.